Yo, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. So ladies, in this video, I want to tell you that the best type of guy to be in a long-term relationship with is a guy who's a player. Or should I say a guy who used to be a player, right? Because I'm sure if you want a monogamous situation, you're not going to want him to continue to be a player while you guys are in a monogamous situation. But you want a guy who was a player, basically. A guy who had a lot of women, had sex with a lot of women, been with a lot of women. That's the guy that is the best candidate for a long-term relationship, right? Now, the reason why is this. One is because if he was a player and he had a lot of different women in his life, right, then that means he's been there, done that, meaning that he knows what he's missing. So if he decides to commit to you, then he's more likely to stick with you because he doesn't really have the urge or the temptation to, make it happen with any other woman. Now, it's not to say that it'll totally go away as far as his temptation, but it'll be easier for him to walk away because he's already been there, done that, versus a guy who hasn't had that many sexual partners or been with that many women. It's going to be easier for him to be tempted because he hasn't really had that much experience. So you might find a guy who, let's say you find a guy who only had like one girlfriend in his life before he met you. That guy more likely will cheat on you than the guy who's the player. You understand what I'm saying? Because the guy who only had one girlfriend, he's still curious. He's still like, man, I wonder, how it feels to be with this girl or that girl. Right. So he doesn't know how to handle female attention. So if he happens to get some attention from some random girl, he's probably going to take her up on it because he's not used to it. Versus the guy who is a player or was a player, he's used to that. Now, another thing you have to also take into account and why the player is the best guy to be in a long-term relationship is because more than likely the player guy or the guy who was a player is attractive. You understand? Which is why he was able to get so many women. He's an attractive guy versus, let's say, that same guy who only been with one other woman besides you. He's most likely not as attractive as the player. You understand? Because if he was, he would have had as much women as the player, but he hasn't. And therefore, usually those type of guys, they'll be like cool guys, but those are the type of guys you might end up just settling with because you're like, okay, he's a good guy, but there's nothing really that exciting about him. He doesn't really have an edge, but he's willing to stick with you. So you stick with him, but he's not that attractive. But the player, he's attractive. You understand? He can get other women, but he's deciding to stay with you, right? He's choosing to be with you, right? And so that guy is more of an attractive guy because he knows how to interact with and deal with women. You see what I'm saying? So understand that if you are interacting with these men, going on dates, or whatever, and you meet a guy who was a player or who's, done a lot of things in his past, that is the guy that, most likely is going to be the best candidate. Now, he has to be at a place in his life where he's sort of done with all that. You understand? Because if you meet a player, but he's still in that stage where he's like, yeah, I'm still trying to do my thing. Right. Then, of course, either he's most likely not going to get into a long-term relationship with you. Right. Or he'll get into a relationship with you, but it's going to be open. It's going to be a non-monogamous relationship. You understand what I'm saying? But if he is that guy who, let's say he's been there, done that, and he's like, he actually really honestly wants a monogamous relationship, that is the best guy out there for you. So don't run away from the players. I know some of y'all be scared. Oh, he's a player. He's going to play me. He's going to, be with other women and then he's going to cheat on me, whatever it is like that. Understand if you get that guy who's been there, done that, he is the better candidate versus the guy who hasn't, because that other guy, the guy with the one girlfriend before you, he's most likely going to cheat on you. All right. So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you ladies have any questions, click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do two quick things. One, I want you to click the link below and send me your questions. If you have any questions on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. And two, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, 7 highly effective steps for finding and keeping a man. And I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.